And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. So let's get there. Hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share because the insanity, it never stops. Now, lots happened this weekend in the world of Donald Trump. Oh yeah, a lot. Yesterday, he went to Norfolk, Virginia to speak to the Navy for their 250th anniversary. On Saturday, Judge Immergold blocked Trump from deploying Oregon National Guard to Portland. Trump, of course, then tried to circumnavigate her order by announcing that he would instead send California troops to Oregon. Now, then again, late Sunday, like I said, a lot's happened over this weekend. Late Sunday night, the same judge blocked Trump from deploying out-of-state National Guard troops to Oregon. Here we go. So yesterday, on his way to Virginia, Trump spoke with reporters. And while his comments were only based on Saturday's ruling, he ranted about the judge. Meanwhile, his lack of knowledge about the case is evident as he kept calling the judge he instead of she. Play the clip.
Well, I disagree with that judge. I wasn't served well if they put judges like that on. I wasn't served well by the people that pick judges, I can tell you. Things like that are just too bad. I appointed the judge and he goes like that. So I wasn't served well. Obviously, I don't know the judge. But if he made that kind of a decision, Portland is burning to the ground. You have agitators, insurrectionists. All you have to do is look at the television, turn on your television, read your newspapers. It's burning to the ground. The governor, the mayor, the politicians are petrified for their lives. And you have a judge like that, that judge ought to be ashamed of himself.
Yeah, if you even knew who the judge was. Meanwhile, I spoke with Pam Hemphill, the Granny MAGA, the other day, who decided that she was going to go to Oregon to see what's going on. Been sending me videos and pictures. There's no burning going on at all. He also, of course, Trump says that politicians are scared for their lives in Portland. Play that clip.
We're going to look at that. It was amazing. Portland is burning to the ground. It's insurrectionists all over the place. It's Antifa. And yet the politicians who are petrified. Look, the politicians are afraid for their lives. That's the only reason that they say, like, there's nothing happening. And you've seen it. The place is burning down, and they pretend like there's nothing happening. So we'll take a look at the order. We haven't seen the order yet.
With millions of people, millions, all with their, their iPhones and so on, and their Androids, all which have cameras onto it. There's like a reporter every inch in Oregon, and yet nobody's seeing it. But don't forget, he turns and says, but you've seen it. You've seen it. Now, let me be clear about something. I don't think Senator Ron Wyden is scared for his life after posting on his social media yesterday showing the outside of an ICE facility. Play that clip. It's burning to the ground. The whole place is on fire. It's not. Meanwhile, speaking of politicians scared for their lives, Circuit Court Judge Diana Goodstein's house was actually set on fire weeks after she ruled against Trump in a voting-related case. Now, I want to be clear about something. We don't have any evidence that this was related and so on, but like Josh Shapiro's house, when it was set on fire, it's eerily similar. Now, I do also want to show you a few clips from Trump's speech to the Navy yesterday. Most of the attendees, well, good for them. They were respectful and they were polite, even though Trump was very political, something that you generally don't see. He started strong by complaining, of course, the 2020 election was rigged. How about just give it up already? Play the clip.
250 years, so we're celebrating 250. I almost thought I wouldn't get to do that because I was president in 2016, and then they rigged the election on me. And then we caught him, didn't we? We caught him, but, you know, we had to run it again. I ran it again, and I got 250, and I got the World Cup, and I got the Olympics. Can you believe all of it?
Yeah. What a speech. He then said that we have to take care of the gnat on his shoulder. Gnat, of course, being the Democrats. Play that clip.
But we have to take care of this little gnat that's on our shoulder called the Democrats. They want to give all of our money to illegal aliens that pour into the country. And, you know, I have a bigger heart than they do. But the problem is when you do that, they come in by the millions. Everybody wants that, so you can't do it. But I've also pledged the largest ever investment in our military's history. We're spending over $1 trillion. We've never had anything like that before. $1 trillion on our military, and that includes, along with your Secretary of the Navy and Pete Hegseth, we're going to be building lots of ships and doing a lot of things that you haven't seen happen for 35 years.
Yeah, let me be very clear about something here. This is one of the most ridiculous speeches of all time. Yes, you're going to invest into more shipbuilding. Good. That's fantastic. And these dopes that are standing behind him, and I hate to be disrespectful to people who wear the uniform, but you do realize that you're not getting paid right now because of the government shutdown. So keep clapping. Keep clapping for nonsense. Yeah, they rigged the election. The election has been rigged once again. But don't worry, we got it. We got the World Cup. We got everything. Meanwhile, he goes on and he speaks about the Vietnam War and explained, not unpredictably, that he would have done things differently. Play the clip.
Deployed a brand new unit, the Navy SEALs, to tear up Mekong River Delta. Problem with Vietnam, we stopped fighting to win. We would have won easy. We would have won Afghanistan easy. We would have won every war easy. But we got politically correct. Let's take it easy. We're not politically correct anymore, just so you understand. We win. Now we win.
Yeah. I mean, sure. Now that he, of course, has resolved 9 wars simply with a phone call or whatever else was done, this makes perfect sense, right? Yeah, you could easily always go back in time and claim you would have done something different. You know what we call that? That's a Tuesday night quarterback for a Monday night football game. And he also tried to get the audience to boo Obama, but it remained fairly silent. It's not what he wanted. Play the clip.
A man that everybody loves. He was my doctor in the White House, and I got to know him very well. He was also the doctor for Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? And he was the doctor for a man named Bush. And at a press conference, they asked him, who's in the best shape? Who's the healthiest? Who's the strongest? Who's the best physical specimen of the 3? He said, that's easy. President Donald Trump. And I said, I love this guy. I said, I love him.
Yeah. Now do 1 sit-up, 1 push-up. Prove it. Trump also claimed that he was, of course, the first to discover Osama bin Laden. I mean, you want to talk about a speech that literally goes from Vietnam to Osama bin Laden in, I don't know, the course of about 2 minutes? Play that clip.
And please remember, I wrote about Osama bin Laden exactly 1 year ago, 1 year before he blew up the World Trade Center. And I said, you got to watch Osama bin Laden. And the fake news would never let me get away with that statement unless it was true. But I said 1 year before to Pete Hegseth, I said 1 year before, where's Pete? In the book, I wrote, whatever the hell the title, I can't tell you. But I can tell you there's a page in there devoted to the fact that I saw somebody named Osama bin Laden, and I didn't like it, and you got to take care of him. They didn't do it. A year later, he blew up the World Trade Center, so we got to take a little credit because nobody else is going to give it to me. You know the old story? They don't give you credit, just take it yourself. And it was the U.S. Navy.
Yeah. And if in fact that it's not real, just keep saying it. And ultimately, the lie becomes the truth. Sure, I was actually also the first person to ever walk on the moon. And at the same time, I'm also the first person to actually kick a football on the moon. It's still floating somewhere in space. Longest kick ever. You know what? I need to call Guinness Book of World's Record and say that I have the longest kick in the entire universe. Now, meanwhile, Hamas and Israel, they're engaging in some peace talks today in Egypt. And as we spoke about last week, Trump told Hamas that they had until last night at 6 p.m. Washington time, which is also known as Eastern Standard Time, to accept his peace deal, that 20-point plan. Let me show you what Trump posted 4 minutes before the deadline, considering Hamas didn't acknowledge. Let me show you what he wrote. In it, he writes, "There have been very positive discussions with Hamas and countries from all over the world, Arab, Muslim, and everyone else this weekend to release the hostages, end the war in Gaza, but more importantly, finally have long sought peace in the Middle East. These talks have been very successful and proceeding rapidly. The technical teams will again meet Monday in Egypt to work through and clarify the final details. I am told that the first phase should be completed this week, and I'm asking everyone to move fast. I will continue to monitor this centuries-old conflict. Time is of the essence, or massive bloodshed will follow, something that nobody wants to see." Mind you, that was at 5:56 p.m. I want to show you, again, another thing on Truth Social, a post that Trump was ranting then about Fox News. Let me show you what he says. In it, he writes, "Why is Fox News and Peter Doocy putting on Democrat Senator Mark Kelly to talk about totally unabated or challenged health care? The fake spin is so bad for Republicans that it is hard to believe that we win. It will be very unfair in the future when they don't have Trump to fight for them. Therefore, we should fix it now." I'm watching this interview. It just doesn't end. Fox should either get on board or get off board now, but at this point, it just doesn't make any difference to me. They suck up the ratings because of us and then spin them in the Democrats' direction. They refuse to put up polls that correctly show me at 65% in popularity, a Republican record. But if I have a fake bad poll, many of which are done by Fox, one of the worst pollsters out there is the Fox News poll, they put them up immediately and with gusto. Republicans are so tired of this fight with Fox, always trying to be so politically correct. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Let me be very clear about something. All right? Polls don't lie. This guy does. And I don't understand why he's even doing that. In fact, if he wants to change his poll numbers, how about do something that benefits all Americans? How about fix this government shutdown? How about end up going yourself, sending Steve Witkoff and Jared? Seriously, in order to negotiate this? You actually really are the strong man of the world. So actually do it. Do it yourself. Maybe put your ass on Air Force One, fly out to Egypt, and do what you need to do. Ensure, sit there with Hamas. Turn around and say to him, telling you right off the bat, you don't walk out of here unless you finish what I'm asking you, that they return the hostages, both alive and deceased, right now. There's so much that the man can do in order to win the accolades he's so desperate to have people give him. So actually do them, and we'll all be ecstatic to give them to you, including your fucking Nobel Peace Prize. Now, finally, I want to show you a clip of Mark Kelly on Fox News, what Trump is complaining about. Play the clip.
Now, the majority leader in the Senate, John Thune, talks about, well, we'll have conversations. We need more than conversations. We need a real negotiation. The president met with the 4 leaders of Congress about a week ago on Monday. And it didn't even seem, the feedback we got, it didn't even seem that he understood what these premium tax credits were. So the first step here is the president has to understand what's going on. And when you look around the country and you see who this affects the most, it's folks in rural areas. He won rural parts of this country in almost every state. So this affects his voters, and it should never be about that. I mean, I get that, but I think we both know that, you know, this president pays a close attention to his base. This is going to impact them significantly.
Yeah, and it will. And there's no way in the world that anyone, including the president, attacks somebody like Senator Mark Kelly, a war hero. A war hero is going to work. Just a wrong guy within which to pick the fight about. And so many other people, probably much more deserving. And that's why I say to you, help me to grow this community. We must put a stop to this. And as always, Thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.